I'm being told this is Limu Emu from Liberty Mutual, who helps save you hundreds by customizing your car insurance.
And his partner, Doug, is the gentleman under the security guard.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do. Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody now give you no break. Police now give you no break. That old soldier man I give you no break. Not even your eyes now give you no breaks. Well, hey, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Why did you have to act so mean? Don't you know you're a human being? Born of a mother with the love of a father. Reflection comes and reflection goes. I know sometimes you wanna let go. Hey, I know sometimes you wanna let go. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You're too bad, you're too rude, you're too bad, you're too rude, yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. She'd been drinking too much eggnog, and we begged her not to go, but she forgot her medication, and she staggered through the door out in the snow.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the R07 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My 2 children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
racing.
They call Gladys to the first champion extra. Dean Reynolds is some
Line we're all
see the 79 Full Throttle Motorsports number 79 of Dean Reynolds being pulled apart, overweight. A possible cheating scandal here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. It looks like he dropped in one of those big block modifieds in the 358 division here, trying to sneak its way through tech. That's a possible situation we will keep our eyes on here tonight. Dean Reynolds does come in higher up in the points here.
Excitement was stirring at the Claus's abode as some Yuletide shopping was about to unfold. With a warm farewell and a sweet little kiss, they were off on their missions for the perfect gifts. At G.Stone Motors, Santa's helpers worked with glee, crafting a new Bronco for Mrs. Claus as quick as could be. And with a snap of their fingers and a nod of their head, the Bronco was ready, painted a Christmas red. And a stone's throw away at Stone CDJR, Mrs. Claus and the team were building more than a car. It had tires and racks and skid plates galore. She knew her dear Santa had wanted nothing more. Now, with both gifts ready and the Clauses warm-hearted, they thanked the kind helpers and swiftly departed. Always there to help friends from near and far. Happy holidays from G.Stone Motors and Stone CDJR. Excitement was stirring at the Clauses above.
We got no sound for some reason. They just posted in chat. It's showing as it's going out. That's weird. What's going on? I can see it moving on my end. Yeah, I got you. Why? No desktop audio, it's saying. Testing, testing. It was there earlier, which is weird.
The commercial break.
No, I think we have it now. If anyone's
Okay.
listening in chat, can you tell if us have it now? It looks like it's there all of a sudden. And can you talk, Brandon?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think we got it back.
All right. So I'm not really sure where we lost them there, probably, but
I don't either. We'll have to go back and listen.
yeah.
If we have to redo
Well,
the front portion of it, we will.
you want me to just start going through the full race results here, and
Yeah, so let's go. Let me bring that up. I'm just getting to it now. I gotta bring up the Busch results. Okay, there we go. Okay, they got the full results up.
all right, yeah. So I'll run through the results here real quick, and like I said, Brahan, first career win. He took the lead from Cody Gibson with 8 laps to go. Finishing second. I was around Rick a lot in this race, and he was somebody that would save his tires for the end of the run, and then he would just go. And he passed me basically on every run by doing that. So good run for Rick. Points leader Cody Gibson ends up third. Myself finished fourth. Steve Holmes, in one of his rare appearances this season, he got a 5th place run. Good for Steve. Kyle Wellman finishes 6th. Dustin Coggins 7th. Johnny Barker 8th. Michael Pardusky 9th. Andrew Payne 10th. Jeff Pogo 11th. Tanner White 12th. Logan Kogar 13th. Bryson Anderson 14th. Jim Ott 15th. Jason Raymond 16th. Ron Holyfield 17th. Landon Audette 18th. Jorge Ledesma Jr. 19th, Tanner Marr 20th, Steve Ritter 21st, and Larry Bell 22nd. Full rundown. Those guys in the back, just in the beginning of the runs, this car was very, very touchy, very loose, and you had to give it about 5 laps until the temps and the tires really came up and gave you some grip. And unfortunately, those guys involved in an incident basically on lap 1, I believe, if I recall, and didn't get to see much of the race themselves. So hard luck for Steve. I don't know how Steve fared in last night's Sim 500 race. I saw that he was leading when I once looked at it. So
Steve won it.
Hopefully I was gonna say hopefully he
Steve
got
won
some
it.
redemption at Charlotte and got another win there. So good
Steve,
for Steve getting redemption there.
I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain. Steve last week as we were practicing for Charlotte, he felt like something wasn't right with his wheel. And Sunday night, like Steve's not a guy to burn up his tires and to fall way off. And in practice with me and Johnny, he would fall back 5-6 seconds over the course of a 50-60 lap run, and that's just unlike Steve. And we kept saying, hey, there's something wrong. You got, and he was adamant he did too. Well, this week he got to look in, and there was a firmware update to his Logitech Pro wheel. So he did that, and he take that back. Tuesday, him and I practiced a little bit, and he was still struggling. He was about 30% tire wear more than I was on like a 50-60 lap run at Iowa, which is just not, that's not Steve. So
yeah.
Yesterday and today he did some digging, and there was a firmware update that didn't go through on his wheel. So he updated that today or yesterday, I'm not sure which. And him and Johnny ran this afternoon. And they were in a couple percentage each other, and then I jumped in for a quick 30 laps, and we were all right there together. So I know when Fanatec went from their old control panel, the Fanatec control panel, to the app, the Fanatec app that Corsair put together after they
Mm-hmm.
bought Fanatec, it automatically migrated you to the Fanatec app. And for like 6 months, I was saying, "Man, something's wrong. My wheel's not right." And then I was reading on some obscure Facebook page. It said to go back if you had the belt drive, the Club Sport wheel version 2.5 to go back, and the Fanatec could actually put the legacy control panel back on their website for that wheelbase. And I did that, and it helped. So, yeah, firmwares can definitely screw up your settings in your wheel and make it just not feel. You lose the fidelity in it. So that's kind of what Steve was fighting there, and I think most of us have been in this sim game for a while have struggled with firmware updates and stuff. It might go in and wipe out all your wheel settings. That and the first time it does that, you learn to take a picture of all your wheel settings once you get them where you like them, and so you have a record of it.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily I have mine saved in a Word file somewhere because the first time I ever updated my direct drive last year after just getting one for the first time, I had no clue what happened. And I was like, this is awful. And then I had some explanations and they told me, and yeah, ever since then I've had that saved so I don't ever run into that problem again.
Well, the other nice part is I know there's quite a few of you that have that Moza wheel ecosystem, and I know you and my teammate Johnny, even though you're not teammates, you guys share,
Oh yeah.
information on the
I'm always
wheelbase and the pit house, and he asks you and you ask him, and um, right now I feel like I'm a little bit out on an island. I made the jump to Sim Magic, and I don't know there's anyone else in the league that runs that wheelbase and the wheel, and I've kind of been trying to figure it out myself over the last month.
Yeah, it'll take a while, but then once you figure it out, you'll have it dialed in. That's it took me half the year last year to really start to figure out. And it doesn't help too when I'm always switching settings back and forth between dirt and asphalt because it's not the same. I don't run the same thing. But yeah, I mean, I go through the points real quick of the Busch Series.
Yeah, let me bring it up for you.
Oh, you have that. Look at that. I
I
was
can
gonna say I
bring
don't
it
think
up.
I've sent you over. I don't think I've sent that over. I don't really keep that on
No,
file,
but
but
I can open it and share the display, and we will be good to go there. People should be able to see it there. Okay, it's up. Should be showing.
all right. So
You want me to run down through it?
yeah, if you want to run down,
I got
I
it.
don't
Yep.
even have mine
So,
loaded.
leading the points is Cody Gibson. With I gotta find the points. He's got 141 points. In second place is our co-host Brandon Garrand. He's 19 points back. Logan Colgar sits third, 21 points behind our points leader. Joe Hudson is actually tied for third with Logan. He's 21 points back in fourth. Johnny Barker, the Iron Man of the Cup Series, is fifth in points, 28 points behind. Dustin Coggin sits sixth, 29 points behind. Steve Ritter sits seventh, 30 points back. Tied with him is Dominic Wright, also 30 points back in eighth. Michael Perdusky is sitting in ninth, 33 points back. And right at the top 10 is Tanner Marr, 36 markers behind our points leader, Cody Gibson. And we'll just go through the top 20 real quick. Larry Bell is 11th. Rick Kennedy Jr. is 12th. Kenny Rio is 13th. Jim Ott 14th. I am sitting 15th. Ron Holyfield is 16th. 17th, Jorge Ledesma Jr. 18th is John Buell. 19th is Bryson Anderson. And rounding out the top 20 is Tanner White. So that's our top 20 there. Pretty tight, and I'd say in the top 10, 30 points. As the season goes on, drop races will sort that out a little bit, but been really tight racing each week, and
they've already got the drops in effect right now, so that's kind of why you'll see if you ever look at our points on the website, you'll see the change. I got plus 11. It's gonna change drastically here every now and then. But
Yep.
Rob, I'll tell you the one thing I'm most impressed about myself, and it's not being second in points. It's looking over and seeing my incidents per race at only 3.
Yeah.
And that's honestly why I'm probably up there in points, because I've not been the fastest in this car each week. I had speed at Rockingham, was the only track I felt like I had speed. But yeah, just survival, and that's what's got me up there in second in points. So, but I
Yeah,
look at I
it's
look at a lot of guys' incident points, and a lot of them are under the 4 threshold, which is usually like 1 incident. So being
yeah.
under
So
4 is
like,
like the marker.
we got guys that got averages of 12 in the top 5 in points. We got I'm back at 16th and 15th in points, and I got 3.75. Really, though, that drop race makes it so volatile right now. Because if you're a guy that's running the top 5 every week, you're dropping a 5th place finish or if you have 2 top 5
Mhm.
finishes. Now all of a sudden, let's say you have a 19th place finish, you're going to get a 5th place back, and you're going to gain a bunch of points on someone that has already had a low drop, so a low finishing position drop. So it's volatile, and that's one of the reasons we've said on the Cup side, um, the drops stop at the playoffs, and I think we said what in the Busch Series we're going to stop them
The one race to go,
with one race
so
to
we
go.
know yeah, just
Yep.
so we know going into that final race what
Yep.
the actual standings are. You don't want it to be like where that could end up being somebody's drop race, and then
Yeah.
what our announcer's talking about has basically no relevance. So,
And then with the Cup Series, we said the playoffs, no drops in the playoffs. So
yep, no
um,
drops in the playoffs. So,
we'll lock in after race 15, right?
16,
16,
15,
something like that.
16,
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah.
And then the drops are only good up to that week, and after that, it's heads up. So so that's our Busch Series.
Yeah, and transition
Let's
right into it. We were talking about the Cup Series playoffs, so we can transition into the Cup Series. We'll recap Phoenix first. That was the 4, Charlotte?
Yep.
Okay. Missed a week, and
I
I forget what tracks we go to.
Yeah, and I'm not actually sure I have um, Charlotte ready to go. While you're talking, I'm gonna get Charlotte.
So you want me to start
Where
Phoenix or Charlotte?
Start with Phoenix.
Okay, yep. So 2 weeks ago, Wesley Donaldson, back to back after winning New Hampshire, he follows that up with another win at Phoenix, and an impressive win as out of 160 laps, Wesley led 157. And the only time he wasn't leading was after one set of pit cycles where Joe Hudson cycled to the front to just get some bonus points. And other than that, this was an all Wesley Donaldson race. I mean, from what I remember, it was a caution-filled race. Um, Not a lot of give and take from everybody else, but that's part of short track racing. Sometimes everybody has different braking zones. Phoenix gets to be a track where you're kind of diamonding corners a little bit, and it just gets where people collide a lot. But after Wesley, we had Cody Meadows come from 24th starting position, which I guess there was 29. So, but 24th, Cody finishes second. Anthony Calatoni finishes third. Jim Ott fourth. Kip Easley fifth, rounding out the top 5. Jeff Pogo was sixth. Steve Ritter seventh. Tyler Belanger eighth. Brendan Finley ninth. And rounding out the top 10 was Joe Hudson. And yeah, this is just a lot of cautions, and also like just a kind of a boring race. I was out of this one early, so I watched a lot of it, and seemed like after cautions, if we could get strung out, it would be good racing, but we never really got to those points, so it was just a lot of battling, and Wesley ends up coming up on top, just dominating. I don't think really anybody. It was a race for second.
I will say, if it stayed green there, I think actually Joe Hudson had snookered the field on strategy. Everyone else was going to have to stop again during that race, and Joe was going to be able to one stop it. So he inherited the lead and everyone pitted, and I think he would have. I think the field would have been about 5 or 6 laps. Maybe someone could have saved enough, but I think it was going to be tough. Um, or on the flip side of that, if the caution had come out about 10 laps, you were in the booth for that. Was about 10 laps before that, he would have trapped almost everyone.
Yep. Yep. There was a
Two
point where he
laps
had
down,
everybody
right?
lap down. Yep.
I think he had everyone
Well,
almost. He had most of the field 2 laps down because of the
yeah, I
length of
think
the
up to
speed
about
on
8,
pit road.
and then a bunch of the guys were 1 lap down. But even
Yeah,
still,
he
jeez.
he had snookered a bunch of people on that one, and then could have played a couple different ways when the caution fell, and the caution fell right for most of the field there. I know myself in the group back around, I'd say 11th through 18th. Um, your teammate Pogo was in that group, and he was fast enough. He was able to fight his way back into the top 10. But
Mhm.
we got caught hitting early, trying to split the run and to the end and have equal tires for each run. And I think Jeff pitted might pitted a lap after me, and then he just blasted through the field when we went back green, um, and got by enough cars that he got up into some clear sailing there, and um, that was pretty impressive. Jeff had a really good run there, so
Yeah, he.
kudos to him. That sixth place finish doesn't really show the car he had at Phoenix.
Yeah, I think him and Jim both were really close from when I was in the team chat. Obviously, once I got out of the car, I went to the infield care center. Brett pulls me into the booth, and he asked if I wanted to stick around. So I kind of hung out with Brett for the rest of the race, and
Uh, the other
yeah,
the other guy will say just played the long game, and he does it a lot. Is my teammate Steve Ritter. Steve. I would say he was probably a 10th 15th place car, but he just kept his nose clean and was able to get through some things and just plug away and save enough to the end where guys started to fall off in the last 10 15 laps. I think he gained 5 or 6 spots. So
my Xfinity series, like I said, sometimes slow and steady. You have a little bit extra there at the end just because you're slower on pace with your tires, and if you can get through there clean, you got a chance to at least just knock out a good points day.
absolutely.
And not do what I did and overdrive turn one and try to take the wall down and ruin your day. But yeah, I mean, do you have Charlotte all set to go now, or
The, yeah, I do the top.
okay? We might as well move into that because it's honestly it's hard for me to sometimes remember these full races, what happened, especially after a couple weeks. And we got 5 races that we're recapping, but this last one's really fresh in my mind because it's the most recent one.
We have it up, so go right ahead.
All
The
right,
top five
so
is up, and I'll get the full breakdown up here while you're talking.
yeah, so I'll tell you what. First race of the Noble 5 Challenge, which is the 5 race challenge. Kind of like the old Winston Cup days. I think we talked about it on the podcast once. It's kind of where the idea sparked from. And the 5 eligible drivers were Jeff Pogo, Johnny Barker, myself, Rob, and Eli. And doesn't my teammate go out there and he gets the pole? He steals the win away from my other teammate, if you ask me, as both of those guys were just the class of the field all night. And yeah, Jeff Pogo wins the $20 bonus from BG Graphics and also picks up the win in the World 300. So Jim Ott second, Tyler Belanger third, Chris Progar fourth, and Seth Morrison fifth. And I'll stop here because these 5 guys now are the new Noble 5 that will eventually race in Pocono. I think that's in 2 or 3 weeks. I tried to spread them out about every 3 weeks. So yeah, those will be the next 5 that will be going for another $20. But rounding that out, after Seth in fifth was myself in sixth, Johnny Barker seventh, Connor Patton eighth, Eli Raposa ninth, Kevin Roy 10th, Kip Easley 11th, Tanner White 12th, Ron Holyfield 13th, Arabia Keaton 14th, Devin McCaffrey 15th, Joe Hudson 16th, Cody Meadows 17th, Rob was 18th, Daniel Holcroft 19th, Marco Pardusky 20th, Steve Ritter 21st, Nick Larson 22nd, John Hinkman Jr. 23rd, Aiden Tatro. I got to keep reading this right. It's different than on Sim Racer because we had to put in a nickname. It's Aiden Tatro that finishes 24th, and Anthony Calatoni finishes 25th. Yeah, what are your thoughts? I'd like to get your thoughts first on the race, Rob.
I thought it was a really good race.
I just feel like I'd be a little biased because like my team we qualified good and we got to obviously like I mean Jeff and Jim led the whole race basically, so
Yeah, I
not
thought it was a
really
really
much.
good race. I was really happy with the race. I like a tire wear track where um, you have to take care of your stuff and you got to be there at the end. Um, and
This wasn't a race without strategy either. I mean,
no,
so
there
like
was, but
because
so
you had a few guys take that first. They pitted around lap 30. Jim was one of them. So they have
yep,
30 laps further they can go on fuel. So then everybody else in the whole field, they pit at their normal fuel window, and we kept getting this overlay of where a bunch of cars were getting trapped a lap down because those guys could go a little bit further.
yep,
And talk about some strategy. I mean, that's why there's only 6 cars in the lead lap.
yeah, and that's why
So,
we went back to the 100% fuel load.
yep.
And I so I want this one back in the worst way. I drove up in the top five, and I just ran out of talent coming to pit road. That's all I could say. Um, I had started.
I was behind you and I saw you spinning, but I couldn't tell if you hit the wall until I watched the replay back
Yeah.
after.
So what happened was, I started to get a little tight, towards the back end of that run, so I dialed some rear brake into it. Um, and coming to pit road, I total rookie mistake. I didn't drag my brakes for the lap before that a little bit to get some heat in the brakes. Um, first mistake. Second mistake, I didn't go back the 7 or 8 clicks I'd gone to rear brake bias. So I had more brake bias than I'd practiced. I had more rear brake in the car than I'd practiced all week coming to pit road. I had practiced that probably 30 times all week, minus the extra rear brake in the car. I went down in there and I stepped on the brake and it got free and I thought I saved it, because I got off the brake, but I looked at my speed and I was still too fast, so I got back on him and it just snapped again on me, and I got on the wall and I got in the pits and I had like a minute 30 damage. I'm like, well, I can struggle to a caution to fix that, and then exiting pit road, I got a speed pit penalty, hold for 40 seconds, and at that point I said, you know what, I gotta get up in 4 hours. I'm gonna I'm just gonna call it a night and go to bed. So that's what I did. But like once again,
Yeah,
my teammate Johnny.
I saw you disconnect and I was like, he must have got damage or something then, or
Yeah,
because
I
I
had a
thought
minute
all you would
30.
have got was a speeding penalty. But
Yeah. No, I when
yeah,
I went down in turn three. It was a combination of things. I went down in turn three. The car was just plowing tight on me. So I knew it was front end damage. And as tight as it was not going to be fun to drive. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to gamble, use a drop race because, drop races only go to like week 15. So, hey, I might as
yeah,
well use one of them here and
I've done it twice already.
end my frustration early. So,
Yeah,
but on the
I've done
flip
it
side,
twice where I'm just
Johnny Barker early on once again gets caught in someone else's mess. Johnny has not had a clean cup race all season, and not a single incident has been his fault. It's been someone ahead of him, or behind him, or next to him makes a mistake and he gets collected. He's been run over from behind. He's been sideswiped. It's you name it. It's happened to Johnny, and I think it was like
Did you
lap
say
8 or
AMS?
9.
AMS?
What's
From what I reviewed on the pictures, Johnny got caught up in almost everybody's mess
Yeah.
during this
Oh, and
race.
it's been that. It's been multiple messes each week for him. I mean, it's.
I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna ask Johnny if he wants a different paint scheme. I don't know if this one's bringing him much luck. We might have to freshen him up.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And the Wolfpack Racing team will pay for it. So the team owner will pay for that for him. I told him he needs to. I mean, it's gonna have to be like the movie Major League from back in the '90s, where they, they can't sacrifice a live chicken, so they go and they buy some Kentucky Fried Chicken and use that for a sacrifice, because he's got to do something to change his luck. That poor guy.
Did he switch his PC? He upgraded, right?
Oh, he's got a brand new SkyTech gaming PC.
He might have to go back, Rob. He might have to go back.
It's got a 7800 X3D and a 5070 Ti graphics card. So it was funny. We loaded.
The graphics might be too good for him.
Maybe we loaded into practice 3 weeks ago, and go back to week after Daytona. We go to Auto Club, right? And we're talking in a team practice. It's me and Nick and Johnny and Steve and Eli's in there, and Johnny says, "Well, he's talking about what everyone's got for a computer." Johnny's, I want to say he was on a Ryzen 5 2600 with a 1060 graphics card or something, and I said, "Johnny, you're racing on a potato. You got a potato for a graphics card." And he's like, "Well, been going to upgrade," and we got off, and he's like, "Hey, send me some links for what you think would work." And we found a really good one, but they were out of stock, so he went with this one that was a little bit better. And he gets it about a week and a half later, and we go into practice session. I want to say maybe it was Phoenix. What was between Phoenix and Auto Club? New Hampshire. It was New Hampshire.
Yeah, New Hampshire.
And it was. We got late in the afternoon, and the sun was setting. He's like, "Holy crap! I've never seen this stuff before." So, yeah, he's really enjoying it. And it's been fun to practice with him, and he's seeing things in the detail he hasn't seen before. He can now see the rubber build up on the track. He can see, I know he talked about his son Connor, who runs dirt. Connor watched some dirt stuff on it, and Connor could see that it's a difference from what they were used to. So, people will tell you that upgrading your PC doesn't make you any faster. It probably doesn't, but especially on the dirt side, you can see more detail where the brown is, where the bite is, and you get more contrast. So,
yeah, just detail wise, but.
Yeah.
I want to give another shout out to somebody in this race. I want to give a shout out to Arabia. If you would have been there at the end of this race, you would have thought Arabia won the race. He was so thrilled. He goes, "This is the first race I finished this year," and I just want to give Arabia a shout out. Finished top 15, so.
Yep. Yeah,
good for him. Yeah, he was thrilled to just finish the race.
Yeah, and Arabia,
he was laughed down.
I sent him a message. Week 2 or 3, or maybe it was during the recruiting races, but I think it was in the season. I said, "Hey, Arabia, you can see the improvement from last season." And what I'll say is, now that Jeff's gone, Arabia is our senior racer. I don't know his exact age, but I know he's in his 70s, and he's out there, as Cletus was saying, living his best life, having fun. You can hear the joy in his voice when he's out there racing, and I'm really glad and thankful he's in our league.
Yep, I second that. But yeah, I don't know if you want to start wrapping this up, or do you want to go through the points real quick for the Cup Series, or?
Yeah, we'll go through the points. Let me go grab them. I haven't looked at them, so it'll be interesting for me to look at.
I got those ready to go.
Let me transition here. Close that. Open that. Okay. So there's our points. Jeff Pogo's our points leader.
Yep.
Cody
Pogo
Meadows
takes
is,
over the points lead.
yep. Cody Meadows sits second now, 11 points back. Kip Easley's third. I'll do the first five, and you go from there. 27 markers back. Jim Ott is up to fourth, 33 points back. Brandon Finley is fifth. Sorry, Jim is 33 points back. Brandon's 34 points back.
Yep, and then we got Joe Hudson sixth, 38 points back. Rob, you're seventh, 43 points back. Steve is eighth, 46 points back. A three-way tie for ninth between Johnny, myself, and Eli. We're all 47 points back, so very, very tight. Michael Perdusky, 50 points back in 12th. Nick Larson, 13th at 59 back. Tanner White, 65 back. And Daniel Holcroft holds the last playoff spot as of right now, 69 back. And then that'll be something as we get closer to the playoffs. We'll start really tracking that 15th points spot. But just to round out the top 20, Anthony Caltoni, 16th. He is. We'll start from here. I'll start doing what he's back from Daniel. So I'll have to do some quick math. We got Anthony 7 back from Daniel in 16th. Frank is 9 back from him. Yep, 9 back. 10 back is Chris Progar in 18th. 11 back in 19th is Kevin Roy. And 19 back is Arabia Caton in 20th. So a lot of guys still in the hunt here to get in that last playoff spot. Obviously, 2 drop races, so anything can happen here. It's up until the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Now, Rob, here's a question. Here's a question. Should we have it be the finale, like the race before the playoffs? Should that also not count, so we don't get a big swap there?
That's an interesting take, and I think that's one that we talked about in the driver council.
Yep, we'll have to bring the driver council.
Maybe we even just put it to a vote in the main next gen chat and say, hey, do you guys want clarity going into the last race and say
knowing what you need?
No drops for the final race before the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, we can talk about that more. I do want to point out one thing, Brandon, and it's just kind of, I find it funny. 7th to 9th, myself, Steve, Johnny, yourself, and Eli. 4 points separate us, and so there's what, 5 of us there, separated by 4 points, and all 5 of us, while on separate teams in this series, we're on the same team in the 500 Thursday night series.
Yes, we are.
Which I've missed a couple weeks because of work, but I'm hoping after this week I get back where I can race on Thursday nights and Friday nights. But I just found that funny.
We can't keep letting Steve win. We can't keep letting Steve win over there.
No. Don't worry about Steve. I can kneecap him when we get to the track. If he can't push down that throttle, he ain't gonna win.
Ugh.
But so real quick, we'll just let's just do the Iowa pick for the Cup Series. We'll call it good. I'll let you go first, since you finished the bias this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my teammate. I'm gonna go Jim Ott. Jim's been hot these last few weeks. I don't think he let Jeff win last week, but I feel like he let one slip away, and he's not gonna let Jeff or anybody take this one away. He's gonna come out with a vengeance, and he's gonna get a win this week.
I know who I want to pick, but I'm not going to jinx him because he's had horrible luck all season. I think Joey's back this week. I think Joey's back from his Thanksgiving vacation.
Don't sleep on some of these new guys either, too. We got Anthony still. Anthony had bad luck.
I was looking at Anthony. I'm looking at. Boy. I'm going to go with the 10 car.
You're
I'm
gonna go
with
with the 10
Anthony.
car?
Yep, I'm going to go with
All right.
Anthony.
All right, perfect.
So, that is going to wrap up our broadcast for tonight. We hopefully next week we'll be back to our regular time, which is 7:30 on Friday night. We race Iowa this week. Next week, where we go next week?
Oh, if I haven't even looked that far ahead. Let's see here. I can do a
Next
couple
week we
quick.
are Kentucky.
Very nice. Yeah, so Kentucky next week. We also have the Dirt League next week will be at Eldora on Tuesday, so
Yeah, I will
that'll
be
be
racing
fun.
that one. I love Eldora.
Yeah, it's fun. Love Eldora. Should be a good race. Yeah. Should be another good week in the leagues of the 802. Other than that, I think that's all I got for the evening, Rob. I'm gonna go.
Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up. So for the 12-21 race for the Cup Series and the 12-19 race, so it's at Richmond for both series. We're gonna do a $5 iRacing giveaway for the best Christmas themed car. $5 for each league, and the way we're gonna decide, the announcers are gonna show all the Christmas themed cars during the race, and the viewers will vote in chat on who they want. So it'll be a viewer-based vote. So drivers, if you want to win your Christmas-themed car special, share the broadcast. Get your friends and family to come in and vote. Watch the race. And if they want to see your car, they're going to watch the whole thing because they're not going to know when you're going to be shown. So we're not just going to show everything beginning of the race so people can, come in and vote and go. They're going to have to watch the whole thing to see all the cars and then make their vote. So maybe we won't even open the voting up to the last 20 laps. Maybe that's how we'll do it because we want to get the views.
Yeah, we need some views. Yeah, maybe we could also. I don't know if we can make a poll or something on the Facebook. I'm not sure where we can do it, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Because I know not everybody watches the race live. I know some people probably watch it like the day after or something, but we'll figure out like a time window where like the votes need to be in by. Maybe like a couple days. But I like that idea. I love that. I have a good. We have to update the Christmas car from last year. And yeah, anybody looking for a paint scheme, I'm your guy. BG Graphics.
I need a Christmas paint scheme. I've run the same one for
I'm always ready to update a new paint scheme. But
so I'll put my order in now and
get your order now if you want it done by Christmas.
I got an idea, so I'll send it to you here either tonight or tomorrow, and I'll just tell you what it is now. I don't care if everyone knows. I'm thinking that we go with a fragile theme, and well, actually, you know what? Maybe that should be. Now that I think about it, maybe the fragile paint scheme should be Johnny's considering the season he's had.
Johnny will probably run the. I got the old Christmas vacation car for him with cousin Eddie on the side. I love that car.
No, that's me. Isn't it?
I got yours is Vegas vacation.
What was my? I had a Christmas one though. What was my Christmas one?
Your Christmas one. I think it was just more like a. It was like blue or green, had snow falling on it. It was very simple.
Do we know when we're gonna run our sports team cars?
You know what's crazy is I was looking through the schedule the other day and I was like, I didn't put any of the theme races in, so maybe we'll have to work those in some places because I know that's usually one of our staples. We got the cartoon. We came up with the sports theme one last year.
I may just run my sports team car this week. It's too good not to.
The old John Daly special.
That's awesome. That was of all the paints you've done for me. That's my favorite.
I wish I would have had. I wish I could have raced my Joker car. I forgot. I should have raced that for Halloween. But Yeah, we'll have to get the theme races out there again because that's something that usually the guys like. And
Yeah, maybe we
I
can do
usually get
a good sports week would be the week before we go on the Super Bowl break.
Yeah, that'd be good. But all right, I know we were closing the show and then we start rambling here, so
Yeah, I gotta get to bed.
yeah, we'll see.
Have a
We'll
great
see all
night.
you guys next week.
Good luck to
Yeah.
all you Busch drivers tonight. I won't be there. I'm gonna go and double check the schedule and make sure Brandon, and Steve and Jeff, and Joey have their admin privileges. And then good luck and
Practice is at the right time.
practice it. I double checked all that already. I asked Pogo to double check everything. You double check everything. You can check it yourselves. So everyone have a good night, and Brandon will see you guys tonight at Iowa, and I will see you